man, because I'm saying on though. Why they look tough though? Who's this Mary Poppins looking bitch? This is the show nobody can stop praising. Maybe it's the amazing original character design, maybe it's the dark grungy aesthetic. Maybe it's because the manga artist has more aura than her own characters. Seriously, I need an about the author section. So if it's so good, why did I title the video what I did? Oh, calm down, calm down, calm down. Calm the fuck down! I'll spoil my title early, alright? Only reason you shouldn't watch Gachiakuta right now is because whenever you finish whatever episode is currently airing, you have to wait a whole nother week for another episode. That's right, I'm mad because this aura farming, ball vibrating, kneecap levitating goodness is so fun to watch that I'm both stressed and appalled that I cannot keep watching this show. I have to wait a whole nother week for another episode. But this is why I don't watch shows if I can't binge them. This is just Edge Runners, Jujutsu Kaisen, Haikyuu, Arcane, Hunter x Hunter, all over again. Oh, why did I say Hunter x Hunter? It's been too long. But why do they keep bringing stuff out that's fire and then not letting me just watch it? Picture this. This is like going to a restaurant and ordering a pizza. And then the waitress brings you out your pizza and says, here, take a slice. You take the slice. Delicioso. And then they take the pizza, skip away and say, come back next week for another slice. Bitch, give me the damn pizza. Look, obviously I understand the logistics and these are empty complaints, but Gachiakuta is just that good. I just wish I hadn't watched it and I just binged the whole thing. Kind of like Attack on Titan. I just fully binged AOT. And look, if I had to wait even a week between one episode after season 3, I would have been in Mappa Studios myself with a sandpaper strap on and some hot sauce, making sure these motherfuckers animate this shit, which to be honest isn't much better than their actual working conditions. Come on, Japan. I will be loosely covering some things that happen between episodes 1 and 14 of the currently airing anime Gachiakuta. Things I do reveal are mostly character names and then some out of context stuff like conversations, but like I say, I leave all the context out, stay completely away from any major spoilers and any plot. If you want absolutely no spoilers, then just come back another time, but if you're okay with some really light trailer level stuff, then stick around. I've done my absolute best to try and protect the story. This show takes trash, literal waste, something that we think nothing of and something that every single person produces, and it gives value to it. This show had me feeling sad for a stuffed dog plushie. And I swear to God, when that Chihuahua girl threw that toy on the floor, I was ready to turn a 2D image into a 3D polish. But there are so many things I could talk about in this show. I could be here for probably hours. So I'm gonna have to limit the categories I talk about in this video. So let's start with the first one. For anyone who doesn't know and is watching regardless of some very light spoilers, the concept basically starts with people make trash, trash is trash, murder mystery, trash might not be trash, let's fight monsters with said trash. The show essentially runs off of a key subject, value. In Gachiakuta's case, if we love something, care for something, and look after something, then it's imbued with something called anima. Anima is kind of compared to something having a soul or its own will. This anima-contained object can then be used as like a weapon or maybe a defensive object. You're essentially taking an unassuming object and imbuing it with anima, which gives it supernatural abilities. The more you cherish the item and the longer you cherish it for, the stronger it's believed to be. We do actually get an example of this, the main one being a medallion from a certain character. This character is a non-giver. Givers are people who are allowed to utilize the power that are imbued into these objects. They're basically feelings warriors, if that makes sense. Rudo, our main character, is able to find value in almost anything, and that's his kind of main character ability. And when Rudo does utilize this medallion, it takes up the form of making sure nobody gets hit. This is because the character that imbued the medallion with anima, we're actually praying on behalf of everyone coming home safe, nobody getting hurt. So the way that power manifested itself was you wouldn't get hit, because the concept is basically if you value something and you look after it, that thing will reciprocate the value you give it, and that thing will look after you. It's like, take a car for example. If you take care of a car, that car will run for a long time and that car will look after you. Certainly a lot longer than the shitbox nobody looks after. So I think it's amazing. Like, value is not a super common concept to use in a show. Using trash to do it is extremely unique. You can kind of tell that the manga artist wanted to tell a new story from a new angle. I have never loved characters so fast in a show. These characters just feel alive, and the design is sick. Like, we've all gassed up their fashion so much that this show was originally labeled like the drip anime. And that was before we even realized the anime was good. I know we knew the manga was good because a lot of people had read it, but doesn't really mean shit in today's standards. I mean, we all remember Tokyo Ghoul's later seasons. The anime was not good. The first character I want to mention that I immediately liked was Engine. And I'm wondering if anyone else had a similar feeling to me. He kind of feels like how Gojo felt for Itadori in Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, I know Engine isn't an all-powerful, mostly invulnerable being like Gojo is, but it kind of feels like no one told Engine that. He's never stressed, he's always smug, and he's got a cockiness that you kind of can't hate. And I think it's because it's paired with how down-to-earth he is at the same time. Because he will get deep. I mean, he talks to Rudo in a very, very emotionally vulnerable way sometimes. We specifically see it with the ammo incident that I won't say too much about, but Rudo has a very rough reaction towards the end of it. And to be honest, I thought Engine was gonna suspend Rudo or take him out of the team for a while and really make him reflect on what he had done, even if I thought it was justified. But Engine just took him aside to talk to him. He told him, I see you, I understand, and here's what I'm going through. Here's my mountain. Here's what I have to climb to become a better person too. Let's both climb our mountains together. Which, to be honest with you, was a completely different avenue to what I expected. Expect a leader to be a little bit of a hard ass, but he straight away pulled himself down to Rudo's level and said, hey, I'm just you. He's just a character you really want to rally behind. I have complete and 100% trust in his character. Now, Rio Reaper, probably my favorite character so far, with the best name so far. But her weapon, her fight style, cool, original as fuck hair. She's just sick. You can tell she's thought out. It shows us that she likes hair by how sick hers look. She loves Rudo's hair and spends 10 minutes playing with it. And then her object is a pair of scissors, like hair scissors. It all makes sense. But then she decides to use her feet to maneuver the weapon, which honestly I just thought was sick. It's like some kind of taekwondo scissor sword technique. But you can really tell the manga artist put a lot of effort into her fighting style, because there's a one move that she does that I think is really sick. Hang on, let me get a pair of scissors. Okay, I got some scissors. So she has like a double slice move where she can basically, she has the scissors open like this. She has her foot on this, and she'll swing it like a sword as if this is the blade. She'll swing it, and then she will flick to make them shut, like this. So it's basically like a slash, chop. That's a double hit move. That's how much the manga artist cared about this character. Really thought about how she would utilize the scissors in a deadly way. That's not actually why I love Rio. There was one specific moment that made me really, really connect with Rio. And it was the moment that she appeared in Rudo's room while he was washing his gloves. Yes, it was kind of loaded with some undertone and a little bit of innuendo. I think that was just a bit of an ecchi element. I think it was more about her being vulnerable with Rudo for a second. She shows him that she sees him and that she wants to show him that she does specifically. And she doesn't really hesitate to relate to him too, talking about parents and stuff. And that vulnerable moment really felt like it added layers to Rio, ones that I wanted to peel back and learn more about. She's just not your edgy gimmick character. We now know she's a completely full character, and I can't wait to learn more about her. I do want to special mention Gris too. And for me, he really feels like a human among metahumans. And I think his comparison to Rudo's adopted father is a good one. I think Rudo needs it. And it's someone he can be vulnerable with, who feels like he's in his world the same way he was with his adopted father. He doesn't have to translate or word things differently like he would with Engine or Rio. He can just talk like he always does. And I think that probably gives Rudo a moment just to reset, pause for a moment, because he's in a completely different world to the one he's always lived in. Everything feels so new and so foreign. So when he can sit and talk to Gris, it probably just allows him to press pause and just, you know, decompress. There are more characters I absolutely love. Like Jabba is an amazing character. Ammo, incredible character. I think her name's Semiu, the lady who sits at the front desk and is kind of a badass. And I do kind of like Zanja as well, even though I don't really like him, but in a way that I like. I will be here all day if I talk about what I like about all of those characters individually. So I may make a video on the second half of season 1, or I might do a character specific video. It just depends how well this goes. What do I think Kei Urana's trying to tell us? And to be honest, I do think it's hard for me to say right now. Whatever I do say, manga readers will just tell me I'm wrong, because I'm going off of 14 episodes of the anime, and that's fuck all in terms of the whole manga. So no matter what I say is probably going to be wrong, and if I do make a second half video that is a roundup of the whole season, I probably will disagree with myself. But fuck it. For the first half, I think it all comes down to, as I said earlier, value. And I think what she wants to tell us is how value can help us with pain and trauma. And also the feeling of being lost. Because all of our characters are revealed to have these really challenging problems. We follow Rudo's issues directly, but the incident involving Amo, we actually learn a lot about other characters too. We find that Rio, Delman, Amo herself, and then through the conversation Engine has with Rudo afterwards, that they have all lost people. Now, some of them, when they experienced loss, it was horrible and violent, and for others it was painful and tragic. And then with Engine, it was kind of self-inflicted, and he's riddled with guilt. But every time we flush out a new character in this show, we just find struggles. In a world of struggle, every single one of these same characters I just mentioned, we see smile, we see laugh, we see fight. They all strive to make a positive difference in the tragic world they're in. And that's because of the abilities they have, because they value things like others can't. Being a giver means being able to help others. But there seems to be a bit of a common trait with all the givers. They've all been hurt and really suffered. So it seems like she's trying to tell us that to value something, you have to have felt loss and pain too. And for me at this point, that gives me a lot of comfort. That the pain or suffering we go through in life is what allows us to value each day, each person, each experience even more. Like I said, the message may change. It's still very, very early. If I'm wrong, I can't wait to be wrong. I know whatever Kei Urana has in store for us is just going to be great. And that's just from these first 14 episodes. I did want to discuss Amo's trauma a little bit, but I have saved it out of this video. And that's just because it was in some of the most recent episodes that have come out. And I didn't really want to spoil anything because I think the severity and shock factor is very intentional. And I don't want to ruin that for anyone watching, so I'm going to save that for a little bit of a later video. The first 14 episodes have been amazing, and the show lives up to everything everyone is saying. If you are waiting to binge it, I don't disagree with you. It's really an amazing show, and it's really hard to just stop watching it. But if you do like the feeling of anticipation of waiting for the next episode every week, this show will 100% give you that. So far, I'm giving the show a 9 out of 10. It's fresh, it's visually great, it's layered. I'm just waiting for some kind of high-pass payoff moment, which, to be honest, it's too early for anyway. Rudo needs more growth before he can give us a payoff. A payoff right now would feel pretty cheap, so I'm actually really happy with the pacing. It's probably more accurately a 10 out of 10 for me, but I don't like giving things a 10 out of 10 until it's done. So 9 out of 10. So that's my opinion. I do want to ask that everyone in the comments keep it spoiler free for anything after episode 14. Manga spoilers or anything from after episode 14, I will be removing those comments. But please don't do it because I will still have to read it to remove it and I don't want spoilers. Just to clarify, saying what you think could happen is very welcome and I'm actually excited to discuss that with you. So yeah, let's hear your theories. And yeah, let me know what you thought of those first 14 episodes.